And Mason, just some basics so far. Spell your first and last name, your age, and where you're from.
Mason Taylor, Mason Taylor. I'm 26 years old and from Maypearl, Texas.
And Mason, I know it's a little bit of a tough one tonight, but it was competitive. It was down to the wire. The first ever double challenge. It was very strategic, a lot of
Yeah.
coaching, a lot of intensity. I'm sure, at least from the standpoint of entertaining and bringing something to the fans, did you guys at least enjoy that part? From I know it was bittersweet, but was that something that you're going to take and learn in the long run?
Yeah, for sure. We rode two bulls tonight and fell off three, and that's about how most games go. If you fall off three of them and you just ride two, they're most of the time the games are going to come down to the wire. Um, it is bittersweet, but that double challenge it keeps the fans engaged. I think it had all of us riders on the edge of our seat too, seeing what the call was going to be. But it was kind of a bittersweet, deal right there because that call could have went, either way. If I don't know that Boudreaux got really close to that bull's butt, but he didn't end up touching him, and we thought he did. So sometimes them calls like that can go either way. He actually touched him or he didn't. In this case scenario, he didn't. Got a re-ride and got a little bit better bull and capitalized on it.
And Mason, what was the name of your bull, and how did you perform? How did you rate your performance tonight too?
My performance was pretty good. I did have a really, really nice bull from Wilo Ranch. They're some buddies of mine, so I knew the bull I was getting on, and I was pretty excited to have that matchup. That's kind of how we drew it up. I was going to have that bull, and I was supposed to do what I did. And that's when a plan all comes together. Most of the time, the plan can go like that, and then some of the time it can go completely wrong. But it was great tonight, and to get on a bull that's as cool as he is, it dang sure makes it easier to wake up in the morning ready to come do it.
Yeah, and Mason, for the average fan, it might be kind of a dumb question, but how critical is it to know your bull? Are you studying a bunch of bulls all year and just making sure that in case you face that one, you know what's coming ahead?
I've kind of went several ways about that. There's been times where I've watched so many films on a bull that I can either get too excited or buck myself off before I even get to the event, anticipating something that you don't know is going to happen. Because at the end of the day, he is an animal. He's going to do whatever he wants, whether it's the pattern you think that's fixing to happen, or whether he's not feeling it that day and just does something completely out of character. But at this level, that's why you just have to take it one bull at a time, one jump at a time, and I've come to find out that not watching videos and just kind of reacting to what the bull does is most of the time better for me. That way I don't overthink it. If anyone will tell you, my kryptonite is me overthinking stuff. So the more I keep my brain out of the way, the better I perform.
Yeah, so it's part of it's got to be loose and free and have fun with it. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not having fun, then this sport can snowball in the wrong direction. And something that's as dangerous as this, when you're not wanting to show up to work and have a good time at it, you can just hate it. And I've been on both ends of it. I've been, about the highest you can get, in aspects of, riding everything that they put you on, winning a lot of money, having fun in all these towns. And then I've been on the side of it where I didn't want to show up, didn't freaking stay on nothing, wanted to be home. I've been on both. I've been on every spectrum of this sport. So having fun is a big part of it. Whether you stay on or not, this is something that we get to do for a living. That is what we love. Not many people can say that.
Yeah, and I'm assuming with being part of an expansion franchise here with the New York Mavericks, there's a lot of ups and downs,
Oh yeah.
a lot of challenges, and I'm sure a lot of mental challenges for you as well, for all you guys here. But I'm assuming that having those low moments when the highs come, they probably make them more special. Is that correct?
Yeah, man, they're more sweet. We're probably the youngest team in the league. As far as I'm the oldest guy on the team, and I'm 26 years old. I'm the veteran on the team, which is kind of weird to say because I think I'm still a kid at heart. But we got Caden Bunch, Marco Rizzo, Leandro Zampolo, Castro, Bob. All these guys are less than 25 years old. They're most of them are 21, 22 years old. So for me to be the oldest guy in the locker room, I've got some experience, because I've been around this sport for 7 years now, professionally at this level since I was 18. But, it's not like other teams where you got guys at the likes of Cooper Davis and Silvano Alves that's now a coach on the Nashville Stampede, 3-time world champ. You've got JRV on the Florida Freedom. There's a lot of experience in other locker rooms, that have just been here, done that. Nothing phases them. We're still learning. We're still trying to put all the pieces together. But all we can do is stay on our bulls, At the end of the day, we're going to get bucked off some. But if we ride the majority of the time, age and, stuff like that doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it's us against the bull.
Yeah, no, that's actually a good point. Like, it is a team, sport, lately or for this tour. But you're out there on your own with the bull trying to hold on to 8 seconds. But
Yeah.
in terms of everything you laid out, how beneficial is it having your coach Cody, who's a Hall of Famer, done it all, won a lot of championships. He also told me he won a lot here in this building. He just won a lot in California. So does that set the standard, and you want to try to do what he did in his career?
Absolutely, man. He puts on a buckle every day that says world champion. That's something every kid, that wants to be at this level. That's their end goal, man, is to, contend and win a world title, and that term gets kind of flung around really loosely nowadays, like everybody wants to win a world title. But to them guys like Cody Lostro, Justin McBride, you got all them guys that were, J.W. Hart, all them guys back in the day that, they eat, slept, breathed bull riding. And their job wasn't complete until they won that, Nowadays, there's a lot of other things that, guys think about other than just trying to get the job done, and I'm one of them guys. There's some things that I worry about more than trying to stay on. But having Lostro as a coach that has achieved that goal is something that we can all learn from. Like he said, he's been on every end of the spectrum too of the sport. Highs, lows, in the middle. Winning. And then ultimately won a world title. So there's a lot of stuff that we can learn from him, and he'll answer any question we have. So it's really nice to have him a part of the team.
Yeah, Mason. And speaking of the best of the best and legends, the bull on top of his game right now. It's a man hater. Marco was telling me about man hater, and have you had encounters with this bull, and what makes this bull special?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get to try my hand at him last week, but I didn't get the chance to. But man, that's when you ride bulls at this level. Having matchups like that is stuff that you want, because that's ultimately how you get established, is riding bulls that nobody think can be rode. And when you do ride a bull like that, you're 96, 97. Crap, I think Cassio is 98 and a half or 98 and 3/4 or some close to the record that's all time, or 97. It's just not very often do you get to have a matchup that can have fireworks like that. Not every bull is a man hater or a whoopah or a bruiser. So yeah, when you have the chance to get on a bull like that, it's pretty special.
And last thing, Mason, how much fun is it to go all over the country, all over the world too, as well, and be here in California to see all the fans come out, and just the growth of PBR and trying new things with this team aspect? Has that been something you've been noticing, a little more increase in the fandom?
Oh, absolutely. We've got a dynamic of fans now that we've never had. Like used to in the UTB season, when that's all that was going on, there was the rough, tough, diehard PBR fans. They were at every event, they were at every PBR finals, which is great, because we've got to know a lot of them fans personally, because they're at so many of them. But now with the team deal, it's brought a whole new, aura of fans around that are mainstream sports lovers, which is showing that the PBR is growing. And if the PBR is growing to a mainstream sport, that's all us as a bull rider can ask for. It's really neat to sit back and watch. And I'm at a place in my career now where I've seen both sides of it. I was a part of just the UTB season, and I've been a part of the teams now every year that we've had it. And it's really neat to just see everything grow. Not only just the fans, but we can be walking in the middle of the airport and somebody recognizes who you are that doesn't have any encounter with any walk of the cowboy life other than watching us on Sunday afternoon in a PBR teams game, so it's really neat to be a part of.
That's very cool, Mason. Last thing, I am catching you after an event or riding a bull. What's kind of like your go-to post-event ritual that you like to do to at least unwind a little bit?
Man, just to, hang out with my buddies, get some dinner. I like Michelob Ultra, so I have one or two
Yeah.
Michelob Ultras to kind of wind my night down. But just hang out with my buddies, because at the end of the day, we're doing something that we love for a job, So it's really easy to get caught up in all the stuff that doesn't matter, And now being a part of it for so long, I just like enjoying all the company. I've created a brotherhood with all these guys, and with some of the legends of the sport. That's my favorite time of the day is in the morning, getting to talk to them most of the time, getting a cup of coffee and stuff. So that's pretty much what I do is just kind of wind down, hang out with my buddies, eat dinner, drink a beer or two, and then go to bed and get ready to do it all over again.
Mason, I appreciate the time. It was great getting to know you, and I appreciate all the insight and all the information. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.